Medicines, welcome to the main canal or whatever. Hey babies, welcome back to my YouTube channel or whatever. And today we will be talking about beauty standards. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into the video. So, where did beauty standards come from? I think that's the question that everybody has. Beauty standards actually originated in ancient Greek culture, right? And basically everybody based their ideal beauty standards off of models, right? So you know how these days we base it off of social media and IG models, I guess, and celebrities and all these different things. In Greece, it was models. So yeah, but also when I was doing research and everything, apparently substance was also like more important. So they had the beauty standards, but substance was like really up there on the list more than it is today. But yes, so that's where beauty standards came from. And moving on, so why are the beauty standards today like the way that they are? So the beauty standards today are usually based around Eurocentric features. I'm sure you guys know what I mean, but it's basically like European like features. So even if you're another race and you have a feature that is Eurocentric, you're considered more beautiful in that race. A lot of the time, it depends on the country though, or the region, right? So the beauty standards in the US is different to the beauty standards in the UK and Europe, which is different to the beauty standards in, I don't know why I'm stuttering so much, the beauty standards in like Africa, you know, and specific countries like Nigeria, Zambia, you know, like it varies from country to country and on different continents and all these things. But in the US particularly, you see a lot of emphasis on like Eurocentric features, right? So yes, but the beauty standards are always changing, right? And before the whole slavery thing, African and having, you know, African features were considered like royal. They were held to high esteem. They're held to higher esteem than they are today. Okay, so there was, I really can't remember right now, but there was this African queen who actually married a European man who was also prominent. Like African hair, skin, features were just seen as beautiful, right? When slavery rolled around, you know, there were a lot of the factors that played into it. But remember, like slavery is about dehumanizing people, because if you don't see them as human, it kind of excuses what you're doing to them. So yeah, it was a dehumanization. And then there's also the fact that in the US, I can speak for the US, but in the US, there were, so they had the plantation owners and they had the wives, and the wives were jealous of the African women, their features, like body, hair, all this type of thing. So they had a rule where you had to cover up your hair. I would give specific dates, but I can't remember right now. But yes, that happened. And so a lot of effort during that time was put into putting down Black women and putting down African features and different things. And that kind of carried forward to today, which is why in a lot of societies and cultures, mixed people are seen as, you know, better than, I don't know how to say it, but yes, mixed people who have like a mixed people who have more Eurocentric features tend to be regarded more highly. Yeah, so yes, and that is why, because of slavery and that mentality being passed along to today, right? But the thing about beauty standards and these things is they're always changing. So like I said, African features were held in high esteem. That changed because of slavery. And as you can see, like beauty standards are always changing, because it was all the rage to be like super skinny with no curves at some point, and then like they were skinny and curvy, and then now it's like Kim Kardashian type thing. So yeah, it's always changing, right? And a lot of people, male and female, feel obligated or pressured to fit into the beauty standard because they're always being compared to it. So they have, I'm sure, if you went to school, like in general, people might have compared you to the beauty standard. People might thought you were pretty or ugly based on the beauty standard or their own personal beauty standard. And so you probably experienced that. And then they have people on social media as well who are also pushing a certain type of beauty standard, and you might feel affected by that. And it's not just people who are regular that feel affected or pressured. There's Kylie Jenner, who was, I remember she told a story before where she kissed a boy and he's like, I can't believe you're such a good kisser because your lips are so thin. And she felt the type of way about that, and then she ended up getting lip fillers and stuff like that. And Dream Doll, she's a rapper. She was a bit more on the skinny side, and a boy that she was dating actually used to like body shame her a bit, so she ended up getting plastic surgery. So yeah, the people who might not be ashamed of how they look, but then when other people start to talk and they start to get bashed and they get introduced to the real world, it's hard for them to stay the way that they are because they think that the way that they are naturally isn't beautiful. And it is, because I think that every single person has beautiful features. Like, it doesn't matter. So there's some things that are conventionally beautiful, right? So they're like, what is a good example? Like, okay, green or gray eyes are like considered conventionally beautiful, right? But there are other things that are like having nice cheekbones, for example. That's an attractive feature, you know. And it's, I think, part of accepting yourself is realizing which features about is realizing the features that you have that are beautiful, even if they're not conventionally beautiful, if that makes sense. So that's it for the first episode on beauty standards. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, comment any ideas that you have for the series, because I have like 8 episodes in mind. I'm going to be talking about beauty standards as it relates to skin color and race, how it relates to body types and different things along that line. But if you have any ideas for it, please comment, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and look out for future content.